Hello. This is Yurika. I'll be casting the game between the Lunken Lions and the Frozen Matrix Gaming. Looks like Vladimir will be banned out. Darius banned. The Frozen Matrix top laner is pretty known for being a Darius player. It is one of his.
Doubt is the greatest enemy.
And coming through, maybe they're scared of a bit of the funneling technique. Although I am not familiar with the Lunken Lions, they may have practiced or shown before that they are adept or somewhat decent at using fun
Think carefully, my friend.
lines. May just be a pick that was banned out of convenience. May not be something they particularly like playing against.
Who questions my ability?
Wukong being banned out by Frozen Matrix. Interesting. That is a pick that I don't know if anyone from the Lunken Lions plays, but it does seem like they were specifically targeting someone on the enemy team. Maybe they've done their Looks like Zed will be banned out from the Lunken Lion side. And it's time for the first pick. And Kaisa will be locked in. I can see that. To grab the Trundle. Now, Trundle is currently really good in the jungle and is considered one of the god tier picks within the jungle. It is really strong. Even champions early game like Xin Zhao have trouble dueling Trundle because he can easily use his pillar to either disengage or engage. He is just a very Tarek locked in. Looks like maybe they are quite good at funneling. Tarek is a pick that synergizes really well with the Master Yi. Lulu locked in for Frozen Matrix. Alright, I'm back. Is it any better? Okay, great. Let me actually turn down the sensitivity. Beefy, really hard to gank. Is just a really strong pick overall. Doesn't provide too much a layer between the carries and the squishies.
You don't have the heart for this.
Oriana locked in as well for Matrix Gaming. Looks like they're going for a more team fight oriented composition. Same goes for the Lanka Lions. They have pretty strong picks. The Mundo and the Trundle coming through. This is starting to mimic the Exemius's comp because this is like one of the compositions which has really strong moment. And then inconspicuous. This doesn't really go along with their method of drafting really good picks. The Wayne is just tossed in there for a little bit of damage, I suppose. Maybe they're really confident in their bottom lane or their ability to get their items farm up and just have a lead. significant enough to get Wayne to a point where she's going to have a large impact in the game. Sign will be getting locked in for Frozen Matrix. Interesting. Sign hasn't seen any meta play for quite a while, and I don't know how it is as a pick at the moment. And looks like Pantheon Jungle will be getting locked in. Pantheon is a champion that wants to do things early, is pretty decent at dueling. However, Trundle, along with his pillar, I don't think Pantheon can do much against that. Trundle is a pretty beefy champion. The jungle matchup, I feel it goes over to Trundle. As for the top lane matchup, Pantheon relies on bursting down squishies. I don't see that many squishies for him to burst. He may have a little bit of an opportunity in the mid lane, bursting down Zoe, maybe applying a lot of pressure. It really depends how the mid lane synergy is going to go. The only viable pick option that I can see for Pantheon to pressure early game is probably the Zoe. Anything else that I'd like to add to this is probably that Orianna, I don't feel like the matchup. She's pretty mana hungry. She's a champion that wants to probably shove up the wave. Control mage. Zoe is a bit of an assassin. She's used really well around the Baron. She wants to basically punish people with her E that walk into areas without vision, and she also thrives when there is a lot of vision control on the map, and she can actively use her E and look to make picks with her kit. Tarek is fairly good at all-ins, and Wayne is a champion that's pretty underwhelming early game. Her damage output early game is fairly weak, and she relies heavily on getting her items. And at the current state of the game, it's not an optimal way to play because AP mages and just general champions which are more item efficient and have higher base damages pretty much make Wayne obsolete in the early game. And it takes a lot of resources for a marksman like Wayne to get going. Frozen Matrix is the Pakistani team, for those of you wondering in the chat. The Lanka Lions are from Sri Lanka and are considered their premier team, whereas Frozen Matrix is an upcoming team that I think recently formed and is hailing from Pakistan. We're just waiting for the spectator delay, and it's going to take a bit of time before we can kick off the game. I don't think there is much to talk about regarding the bans, considering that I don't think both teams know that much about each other. Maybe they've done the research. I see the Tarek pick coming through. I see the Master E ban. Maybe they could have tried to pull off some Tarek E stuff over there. Although I'm not sure whether the new patch notes where they nerfed gold funneling have kicked in or not. Alright, great. Alright. I really am looking forward to see how this Pantheon, they utilize this Pantheon pick. Personally, I think the only place he can would be the mid lane. It's really difficult for Pantheon to have pressure onto the Mundo, although Mundo is quite squishy early on. If there are any missteps by the Lanka Lions, I think they may look to capitalize on them. Draft-wise, the Mundo and Trundle are extremely strong when compared to Cyan and Pantheon, so the scaling definitely goes over to the Lanka lines if the game plays out longer than it should, or if they don't get the lead they want to get with the picks that they have. It's going to be really difficult for Frozen Matrix to continue. And looks like we'll be going in game soon. And off the loading screen. Okay, great. Okay. Hey, this will be our my caster. He is from Sri Lanka, I guess.
Yep. It's okay. Did you say Sri Lanka?
Yes, I said Sri Lanka.
Okay.
I mean, it's not correct. What is the correct pronunciation? It's like
it's Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
No. Sri, as in SH, Sri like she, but add an R into it. Yeah.
Like Sri
Yeah.
Lanka.
Yeah, because the whale. I mean, I don't blame you. Like that's just how foreigners say Sri Lanka. They say Sri Lanka, like as in Siri from Apple. They just say Sri Lanka. Yeah. But
Oh, that's interesting. I never know that. Like we all just say Sri Lanka here, I think.
Yeah.
But it's Sri Lanka. Okay, that's interesting. But what do you think about the drafts? I concluded that the Sri Lanka drafts is currently better. You excuse me if I don't say Sri Lanka because it
no
takes
worries. Meantime, speaking about the game, I'm yet to see what the draft is because I can't really locate where the game is. I think I added the Orion. Just so I think if you accept the request, I can then go and spectate the game.
No, it's okay. Just you're king. Hello. Oh wait, I can't call people. Just 1 second, please.
A summoner has reconnected. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned. A summoner has disconnected. A summoner has disconnected. A summoner has disconnected.
Yeah.
Ryan. Okay, we're back. Sorry for the interruption. And it seems that they're having some internet issues. And with me, I have my fellow caster from Sri Lanka.
Yeah, you said it well this time. Hi, all. This is King of MOBA.
And this is Eureka.
Yeah, so
Now,
I'll be giving a rundown of how the Sri Lankan side will fare, and I guess like Steve
Mhm.
has already covered the drafting options. For me, I mean, all I can say is this, right? So I'm really hopeful to see how this side performs because these are actually the side that we actually sent to the Asian games. So these
yeah,
probably
I know.
side.
Definitely. So, like I talked earlier before you came about the drafting, and I pointed out how both Mundo and Trundle and these two picks are very, very strong in the current meta, and especially in team drafts. And as for the Wayne, the Tarek, not really optimal. However, Zoe is also one of the god tier picks for this meta, by the way, and she's really good at niche things like setting up traps, making picks, and she thrives off of vision. And what I want to ask you is, what do you think about the comps? Looks like.
Well,
Mhm.
this is the thing, right? I think, as you mentioned, I think they have a pick-off comp. I feel like the other team is what's the team name of the other team? The Lanka
Matrix,
Lions.
Frozen Matrix.
Yeah, Frozen Matrix. They have a very, I mean, I think they have a better team fight oriented comp. I just feel like the Lanka Lions, what they will be looking to do is probably go for the pick-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think they'll want to give as much space as possible for that Vayne to farm up. As you said, she is right now an out of meta ADC. But again, having said that, Nightmare is a one-trick Vayne player. I mean, he's been playing Vayne for the last
Oh,
few
I
seasons.
see.
Yeah. So I mean, it
So
might
it
be
is
like
comfort
out of
pick.
meta for most people, but like when you have Nightmare playing Vayne, that's like pretty much like his strongest pick.
Very strong indeed. I can see how strong that is. Oh wow, so strong.
So we had the first blood going on in the way of Lulu, and then picking off on the Nightmare.
That was some very heavy early aggression coming from Frozen Matrix there. They really want to punish the Wayne, but I don't think that is something that Wayne should have died to. She's trying to do something like trading against Kaisa Lulu, which is a good idea. Your support is a Tarek. It's almost like a melee champion, doesn't have ranged autos. You do not want to trade when you're playing Wayne. It is something
So we
you
get
want to avoid.
there's return kill going in the way of Zoe being able to pick off the
And Lulu
Pantheon,
will
and
go
we see a
down.
double kill going down with Lulu going down as well, and this might be the triple.
And Flash Force from Oriana.
Yeah, so clearly Lanka Lions returning the aggression onto Frozen Matrix, saying that, you know, I mean, hey, if you're gonna take down my ADC, you better get ready to deal with the rest of my family. You know, we're gonna come after your kids.
Definitely, and not to mention the Zoe played that really well. She didn't use her flash. She charged up the Q that basically forced Oriana to burn her flash because she didn't respect the fact that Zoe could flash after her with the Q. So that was really smart mind games by the Zoe there.
Yeah, for sure. And then coming back to your point about how Vayne shouldn't have been going for the early aggression, I'll tell you one thing about Nightmare. Like, as an ADC and having seen him play in a couple of seasons, he's very aggressive. He doesn't care who the champion is. He'll be very aggressive. And we might see a trap being placed here on Pantheon as he goes for the blue buff, and he's going to fall again. And Mundo collects the kill. And this is like, I mean, excellent execution. Like, Pantheon not seeing that at all. No support coming from the top lane or the mid lane. Oriana is clueless, like, as to what just happened there. And like, I mean, I guess they should have warned, saying that, you know, that Zoe and the Mundo were not in lane. I felt like there was a lack of communication on the side of Frozen Matrix.
I don't think there's much that Oriana could have done. Zoe has double buffs. She had lane party. She had already shoved up the wave, and she has minion dematerializer. That means this Lanka Lions basically wants to roam. They want to shove up the lane, get priority, and she will miss the crucial stun that may have netted her a kill. Trades going back. Oh, Wayne, heavy aggression. Stun will land. Isa coming in to back her support, and they take out the ward. And the stun will land, however, both teams will just back out.
Yeah. So the reason why Wayne tries to go for the early aggression with Tarek is of course because Tarek is running the Guardian rune, right? So that gives a lot of protection from the poke, and as at the same time he has his heal, right? So technically they can actually take trades. I mean, and with the nerfs coming to Lulu, where the shield just now wears off within 2 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I think so that's what they're playing with, and Tariq is a very popular pick in the Sri Lankan meta. Like our supports really love running Tariq, so like they know the limits of the champion. So I think it's all planned. It's not like they're just like playing it without any knowledge of what's happening. But I feel like the Mundo is being pressured under the lane, and I mean I like the early aggression from Lanka lines, but we'll have to see how this goes on, because this is the thing. I think Frozen Matrix, the win condition for them would be to wrap out this game a bit early, because I feel like the later it goes, it's going to be in favor of Lanka lines.
Yeah, the later the game probably belongs to the Lanka line. So if they wanted to do something, they had to make the early game work out. That's basically the only chance for Frozen Matrix to actually win. However, their early game was pretty much botched up by the Zoe and the Pantheon, so they're going to struggle. The Pantheon is almost absolutely disabled right now, with only a couple of camps in his boots. He didn't even complete his jungle items 5 minutes in the game.
This is the
looking
thing.
Really rough.
This is the thing. I think picks like Pantheon, they're very risky, because it's also very dependent on the fact that that Pantheon will snowball, and I mean your Pantheon who doesn't snowball is pretty useless to a team.
Effectively useless, yes. Things are already looking pretty bleak for the Frozen Matrix here.
So what can you tell me about the Frozen Matrix, Steve? Steve, right?
Eureka.
Eureka. Okay, wait. Okay, right.
Where did you get Steve from?
No wait, because I've been watching a couple of Indian streams, and like there's this one guy, like I mean, who has a very similar accent to you, and I think his name was Steve. No wait, what was that? I don't know.
I think his name was Loki.
Probably, okay, probably. So yeah, so you
Steve,
probably know.
That's a very generic white man name.
Yeah, because I mean, you sound like a Steve. Like, no offense.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. That's why I'm like, that's such a generic name.
I mean, the only other generic white name that I could give you is like Bob.
Exactly, Bob or John. There's nobody. Anyway, back to the game.
Yeah. So so now Frozen Matrix, is it an Indian team, or is it
Frozen Matrix is a Pakistani team.
It's a Pakistan. So I mean, but you must have definitely had the experience dealing again. We see Trundle like going and taking.
That was a nice pillar, but they will get caught out. That was really nice. And Zoe comes back in, lands the Q onto Cyan. Cyan is too tanky to go down. They will concede 1 kill over and back off. Zoe is still looking for something, but no, she will not find it. She'll go back to her lane. Nice vision control on the top side. Pantheon will win over a Gromp. He's level 4, 7 minutes in the game. You can see how much he's struggling.
Yeah, I mean, as opposed to like his enemy jungler who's the 36 CS up with 3 assists, right? And then the other thing is, I mean, even though they got the kill on Trundle, I don't think it really served any purpose for Frozen Matrix, because Pantheon was so far. I mean, if of course Pantheon were to get that kill, I think it would have done much more in terms of getting him back into the game.
Not necessarily. I feel as though Pantheon is too far behind to have an impact in the game. Right now, their best bet is to get Orianna. Orianna might go down here. She's ticking really low, but will survive with just a little bit of health. The last tick of Ignite was not enough. Looks like
yes, coming back to my question about Frozen Matrix, like you probably would have seen them play before. Like, what do you reckon? Like, what is their usual play style like?
Well, they're a newly formed team. I'm acquainted with the players. The top laner is a really aggressive Darius main, and I'm not sure which players they are, but because like they're playing on different IDs, so I can't really recognize some of the players, but they don't really stand out within the Pakistani scene.
I think Kaiser's gonna fall down here. I mean, if she does that, that's like a
No. Wayne pretty much messed up her autos there. Like, she could have just continued attacking.
But then they do pick up a Mountain Drake, so that's gonna give dividends later in the game, and it'll also improve their tower taking abilities. And we see Mundo might be in trouble. I mean, I don't think he's aware that Panther is making his way up to the top lane, and he's taking the fight with Sion, and he does dodge the stun, but does he have ulti? But he's regening.
He'll survive. He'll survive pretty easily. He might actually look for something in turn. Ooh.
Holy
And
shit!
he will take
takes
down the Cyan.
I mean, these just insult to injury. Right now, I can feel what the San is thinking. Right, he's probably tilted. He's like, holy shit! Like, you know, you got behind in the jungle, and now you're putting me behind as well. Like, I mean, if of course this was solo queue, you know, because that's what you do. You blame everybody else, right?
I mean, it is a newly formed team. They're not going to have the coordination required, and they're not going to be on the friendliest of terms. So there might be some tension, some saltiness here and there.
And I think what is it?
Mm,
Okay, I'm just watching the shared screen. So
same. Hold on. That should be the correct time.
yeah, 10:30. Okay, right.
Okay, great. Let's continue.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry to everyone watching the stream. I think it was my bad because I was not able to connect to the lobby at the time that it was being created. Because I kind of had an errand to run, and I did not foresee the traffic in Sri Lanka being this bad on a Sunday evening. How's the traffic situation in India, by the way? Steve, no, not Steve. Sorry, hold on. Eureka, yes.
Also, you said India. I'm from Pakistan.
Oh damn, god damn. Okay, sorry. Like, did I just like offend you? I don't know what I did.
No.
Okay, so
Yeah.
oh my god,
Oh,
Tariq survives, and like, I mean, they
Both
used everything.
parties
I think,
survived.
yeah, Frozen Matrix used everything there, and like they couldn't take down Tariq. So that was like I mean, I think that was sweet outplay from Tariq, and I think like they can really excel in it. I mean, I think now Lanka Lions can look to get another objective. I think they could actually go for the Herald. I think, is that what Mundo is? I think clearing vision out there.
They're just getting vision around the top side of the jungle. I mean, it's something that they're gonna look to do Herald. They have so much vision control. They're also gonna look to deny the Pantheon further when he does decide to go into his top side jungle. He might just be forced to play bottom side if he wants to have some degree of safety.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that you're Pakistani, you kind of remind me of Aziz Ansari.
Aziz Ansari. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not about his sexual harassment case, but you know, just as a good comedian actor, you know.
His sexual harassment case. Okay.
Wait, you don't know about you don't know about
I
that.
know about it. I know about it.
But okay, I think he's innocent. I think he's innocent. I think he was like falsely. He won an award for, you know.
Yeah, he's just a horny brown guy. Leave him alone. Exactly.
What?
Let's talk about the game.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
looks like the
So-
bottom lane Frozen Matrix is gonna be shoving them in, and Zoe is just getting her way back to the lane. Oriana has priority. She's looking to go into the top side jungle. Nope, she's just hovering in mid. She's not gonna look. At this point, you probably want to like get some vision, maybe clear out some vision. You don't just want to waste your time hovering around mid. But she might just
Yeah.
be scared that Zoe just
We
assassinates
see aggression going in the bot lane. They were able to pick it up, and we have a TP coming in from Sion, and I think
And
they
a TP
turn on and
coming in. Another
Only
TP
the-
coming in. One of the TP. Oh, a huge fight breaking out. Wayne damaging the Cyan. Third W will proc. Cyan has to ult away. Lulu will fall. Kaisa out of position. Not Oriana ulti. Oh my god, that was so sweet. And Oriana will fall. Pantheon
my God,
gets
double
stunned
buff.
up. Mundo
I mean-
continues chasing. Cyan falls. Cyan passive kicks in. And they will continue the chase onto Pantheon.
this is gonna be ace. This is gonna be an ace. This is gonna be an ace.
This is gonna
Oh
be ace.
my-
This is gonna be an ace. Oh, Wayne makes it out with a little bit of help from her heal. Nice.
I mean, it was a complete bloodbath for sure. Like, I mean,
That
that's
escalated really quickly
Yeah,
and really
it's like-
messily. There was a nice little outplay by Kaisa and Oriana in the middle of that fight, and it was really sweet. But it was not enough. They don't have the damage. They don't have the strength to keep up with these picks coming in from Lanka Lions.
Yeah, because I mean, Oriana only has a lost chapter, as opposed to Zoe having the complete Lud and Zeko. So like in that fight, and that really helped a lot. And I think Zoe is looking to get the Leech Bane as well, for that additional damage, because she's snowballing, so she doesn't really have to go for any defensive items either. And I mean, this is something I've seen though. I want to ask you a question, right? So I've seen a lot of people playing Kaiser still in patch 8.13, right? And I mean, she did get some indirect nerfs as well because I think they nerfed the Rage Blade as well.
She's currently not one of the strongest picks. She would probably be in the A tier.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people who play her still think she's really strong, and I think they kind of get baited into picking her. That's what I feel.
She's not necessarily really strong, but she's not really weak either. But there are like better picks like Xayah in the current meta. There's Xayah. There's like also mages like Bran and stuff. Like there's a lot of different things you can run in the bottom lane right now, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a marksman. Most of it is dominated by picks like Xayah. Also some picks like Vladimir, which are picked into certain situations. But players are learning to play against picks like Vladimir by picking out poke champions. So it's like a really evolving meta at the moment.
Yeah, so Lanka is gonna get their second dragon, another mountain. These are all gonna add up. These are actually really good for them because they can actually look.
Herald has been popped mid by the Lanka Lions, and the turret will get smacked and go down. I'm guessing they still want to put some damage on the second turret. They're looking to protect this Herald as it goes in for that hit. Ooh, one shot by the Zoe. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was
Orianna caught out of position, gets bursted down for 50% health.
Yeah, that was just brutal. That was like smack dab in the middle of the lane. Like there was no counterplay for that. There was absolutely no counterplay.
Well, the counterplay would be to not walk up that forward against the Zoe. I mean, there is a counterplay.
So what?
Pretty simple one.
You mean counterplay as in like using your head kind of counterplay?
Yeah, exactly. That I mean, that is basically counterplay. You use your brain.
Yeah. Speaking of like I mean I think it really hurts to have like someone like Sion as well in the team because this thing, right? I think one of the key things that concerned like picks like Sion was that them having the option to go for a banner of command, and like with that item out of the game, it's kind of made them a bit weak. I feel like, you know, in terms of how much pressure they can put in a lane, because now they just literally only have to farm, and plus with I think a lot of base damages wasn't nerfed for Sion, so he's not as strong a pick. I just feel like Frozen Matrix came back to the game after patch 8.10, and now they're like what the hell is happening here? Like, you know, I just feel like the comp is very much based on like previous patches and how strong they used to be.
Yep. Not many of the teams are up to date in terms of their drafts. It's an evolving meta. It constantly changes, so it's kind of difficult unless you have a source or you're intimately familiar with higher levels of play. So it's really hard to keep up. Ooh, ulti will go down, and he will bop the... No, Zoe will take her down, and she will survive. The Taric ulti will not be enough. Will not come in quickly enough. Wayne coming in, gets the kill onto Orianna. And the flash, stun. Oh my god, onto Lulu. Lulu ults herself. Kaisa pillared, forced to flash away. Lulu gets stunned by the Taric ulti, goes down. Chase ensues onto the Kaisa. She will get away. That was an interesting turn of events. One thing led to another fairly quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, incidentally, I think luck has favored Lanka lines as well because, like, I mean, despite like even silly mistakes like that flash from Wayne, ended up
that was not really a silly mistake. It basically ensued the fight even further. It wasn't necessary. I mean, it's not really.
I mean, I think the intention was to jump over the wall, but like still she was able to get her with him.
Maybe. I don't. It might have been. It might not have been. But either way, it's not something that was necessary. Also, I just feel like Lanka Lions is kind of playing now. They think the game is in the bag. They're in a sweet spot where they're really comfortable with the state of the game, and they're making these aggressive plays and just showing off, basically.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they say, right, you know, luck favors the bold, and that's what Lanka Lions are doing. They're being bold, and Lions are kind of synonymous with courage, right? If you're being really poetic here, so. Yeah.
If you're really being poetic, then I would say that luck would be in this situation synonymous to god tier picks. Zoe, Window, Trundle. That is basically luck. If you consider drafting well luck, then yeah, they were really lucky.
I think Wayne is gonna be rushing that Rage Blade because I've seen Nightmare play Wayne many times and he loves that Rage Blade pickup. Because it'll also make sure that, like, you know, I mean, I think Sion and them will be like cheese, you know, in team fights.
I think Wayne was one of the weaker players right now compared to what I can see. She was like one of the weak links on their team.
Okay.
because she not only got cut out, she hasn't been doing anything special. She's been canceling a lot of auto animations. It's just not very impressive. And you can actually tell that the champion's really weak. Either the player himself is not shining on the champion because of the champion, or the player himself is not that impressive. So, in this game, specifically.
Okay. I just feel like, you know, she's trying to be aggressive, but at the same time, I think Frozen Matrix have been able to react accordingly and like punish her for that aggression. But at the same time, you know, she's only died once.
I think
so,
the true MVP of this game would definitely be the Zoe. She's really impressive. She's been roaming. She's been applying pressure. She's been out shoving, and she's basically the reason that the lead that they have has snowballed this far and become this big for the Lanka Lions.
I mean, end of the day, it's Ash. Ash is one of the premium mids, probably if not the premium mid in Sri Lanka, and like he loves to play assassins as well. I mean, his control of mages is really brilliant. Like his LeBlanc is legendary, and Zoe is one of his preferred picks in the recent meta. I just feel like, you know, teams need to understand like what he's strong, because he loves to run this whole I mean assassin lineup as well. So roam, I mean shove and roam kind of playstyle. So I think like, I mean, yes, it's probably like the first time that other teams in the region have gone up against a player like, you know, from Sri Lanka, because I mean it's only very recently that players from Sri Lanka are able to play.
Oh, that was a really nice poke. Kaisa will lose half of her HP. The shield does not come through. Or maybe he did and still bursted through most of that. Ooh, still looking for that kill. No punish onto the Zoe.
I just don't know what to do right now, and Pantheon is really behind. So I mean, I don't know what he's trying. I don't know what he's trying to build. I feel like, considering that he was behind, he shouldn't have tried to finish his jungle item. He should have gone for a cleaver straight away, because at least that offers some you know, benefit to the team in terms of the damage they can put out, you know. The armor shred.
The dragon will go down over to the Lanka Lions. All the Frozen Matrix could do was just shove up the mid wave and get some vision in the meantime in the top side.
I mean, apart from some of those aggressive plays and some fiestas here and there, I mean, I feel like it's been a very stale game so far, like, you know.
I mean, yes, there were some interesting moments in the early game with the rotations and stuff, and the fact the way that they punished the Pantheon for that level 2 gank at bottom lane. And so it's not been completely stale. It's just that at the current state of the game, it's just a very slow and painful death for the Frozen Matrix. It's not very exciting to watch the last few dying breaths of an old man about to just pass away.
Yeah, because it's gonna pop out and fade away. But this is the thing, right? So a lot of teams underestimate the power of a wave that's built up. Because right now, what's happening is like, yes, Lanka Lions may have gotten the advantage by taking all the towers, but then the entire wave is going to be shoving down towards Frozen Matrix, and without any Baron pressure at all. And we see the Mundo going really aggressive on the Orianna.
Orianna will be forced to flash away. Cleaver will land. The counter flash, ulti goes down, barrier goes down. Nothing. No, what? What? He should have just gone for it. But there is counter pressure both in mid lane and top lane, and it will definitely be worth for the Lanka Lions. It's not really something you can't afford to send 5 people into bottom lane just for 1 kill. Ooh, and engaged by the Pantheon. The Sion ulti coming in. The Taric ulti popping out. The damage will be negated. But will they continue the chase? Wayne tries to counter. Sion smacks the ground, hits nothing. Wayne playing really aggressive, taking low, but will be able to get away.
Overall, I think a good defense by Frozen Matrix. I mean, Trundle had to pop his Subjugate as well there to stay alive.
That Sion ulti was really good, but like the Taric ulti is just too much. They're far too ahead to make use of that composition. The Sion, to be honest, and the Pantheon. If they had more power, that might have just worked out much better in their favor. But at the current state of the game, it's really difficult for them to do anything or make plays like that.
I mean, true, but at the same time, I mean, it was of course idiocracy. But when they went down, I mean, all 5 of them defend versus Mundo. But at the same time, it was Kaiser that did pick up the shutdown, and she's quite ahead actually in terms of CS. And with the shutdown goal, I think she can really rush those late game items that she wants. And we might actually see a turnaround.
Definitely a standout player, but will she be able to stand up against the Zoe and the Taric and the Wayne? Like, Like, when is it that she's gonna stop making a mistake? Her flash went down in that last fight. That's another 5 minutes of her not having a getaway free card. So she's gonna have to play a lot more carefully now. She might not be able to get that one kill that she did this fight, and within the next 5 minutes, it's gonna be more difficult for her.
Yeah, this is
So
extremely
it begs the question whether it was even worth it to flash for that one kill or not. But like, it's not you don't want to fight at this point in the game. You're just slow. You don't want to actually do anything. You just slowly die, or you want to get a really good pick, or you want to gain some vision. But like, the team Lanka Lions is so ahead. It's really difficult.
Yeah, now they're gonna be eyeing that Baron, and they might actually take it down comfortably. And, I mean, this
ulti will go down. Mundo really early.
I mean, for the Mundo, this is like
Mundo will
Frozen
go
Matrix
down, but the Baron will go down.
Frozen Matrix just playing into the hands of Lanka Lions. You know, that's what they wanted. They wanted Mundo to distract them, and like, I mean, this is just real, I think, not clever thinking from Frozen Matrix. Because like, I mean, it's like you threw a monkey in the face of a little kid. You know, it's like, and they got distracted.
It's not even about the distraction. It's about the zoning. They can't just walk past Mundo that easily. Like, Mundo is there. If Pantheon were to go in alone, he's acting as a wall. So that they need to cross that wall before they get to the Baron, and they can't cross that wall because that wall is so tanky, not quick enough. So the Baron will go down regardless.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like considering that Pantheon did go down anyways, you could have actually gone into the Baron pit using his ultimate just to try for the possibility of a steal.
It's far too unlikely to actually consider. Like, you would just it'd be suicide, especially without no vision. It's just not possible.
I mean, considering that he's blowing out his ultimate anyway, and I mean, considering how behind he is, I don't think his death spawn time is that high, right? So I mean, I just feel like you could have actually tried to go for the steal. I mean, in situations like this where it's actually like they're playing out of desperation, they need to make the desperation plays and try to make something out of nothing.
It's a very 95 to 5% chance for him to actually get that Baron. It would require for the enemy team to not actually just not stop doing the Baron, and just the timing to be correct and the vision to be there. It's just too situational to actually rely on.
Meanwhile, the Lanka Lions have pitched a tent in this bush and they're waiting to pick someone off, and Oriana does fall for it. The dumb B4 stars, because we're PG-13 this stream, so yeah. Yeah, I said B4 stars. So anyway, so clear out vision here, Sound, and I mean, I think they need to send out like a tank or someone else, like check it out. And I think in terms of like vision does. Okay, so I only see a facet alteration on the side of Kaiser, and Oriana and Sound still, and also Pantheon, they still have their warding totems, right? And I just feel like they could actually upgrade to either sweeping lens or more facet alteration, because at least they can avoid these surprise eliminations, you know?
Well, one could argue that if you're this behind, then the wards are almost necessary. But like, yeah, I guess they should have just gone sweeper. So they could have maybe set up a camp, maybe try to pick them off while they were getting vision. But the turret will go down here. Lulu will ult, but will ultimately go down. Taric ulti goes down. Oriana ulti picks up the Trundle. And Mundo just keeps chasing in. He's way too tanky. Cyan will go down. Wayne gets the kill onto Pantheon. Kaisa can't do anything. She's helpless. The Zanya will only prolong her death. Oh, she stealths away, but it's not enough. And they will get aced. And that will probably be the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a comfortable victory in the end for Lanka Lions. I mean, they always had the advantage. Dragons, 2 Infernos, 2 Mountains, and like, there's really no way of Frozen Matrix to come back. I mean, again, it's questionable. I think it's like almost like they lost in Champ Select. That's what I feel.
Yeah, they lost in Champ Select. But that was really well played by Kaisa. She did super well.
I mean, credit to Kaiser. She was a standout player from that team. I mean, despite all the pressure that was created, I mean, she has the highest CS in the game, and she's been able to farm up items. And I mean, it's just sad, you know, if she had like, if her teammates performed a bit better in that lineup, I guess that they could actually have done something much better. But I hope that they learn from this mistake, and maybe for the next game that they play, I wish the best of luck for Frozen Matrix, and that I hope that they do update their knowledge of the picks and, you know, go for something that actually can work in the current meta. Yeah.
For the match against Frozen Matrix versus Lanka Lions claimed their victory in a quite a deciding fashion, and congratulations to Lanka Lions. And with me, I have my caster from Sri Lanka. Thanks to you. And what's your name? What shall I call you?
King of MOBA.
King of MOBA. Okay, so I have my caster here with me. Who is the King of MOBA?
Yeah.
Where does that name originate from?
So this is what happened, right? So I used to play a lot of Dota back in the day, and
And then you
my
shifted
name
to League?
no my name was N Sana, as in Sana is short for, like, you know, Sana for Sana for this, Sana for that, but I just made it like a hybrid word for it, and that was my name in Dota. And when I switched on to League, I did have an account called Nsana, but it was on EU Nordic. And when I had to switch to EU West, I created a new account there, and then they were like, you know, this name is taken or some shit like that. And I said, like, okay, what if I'm gonna change my name? If I'm gonna change my identity, I need to like go for something like really solid. And that's when I got this, because see, I love to play MOBAs. I play Smite. I used to play Hon. And now I play League. I used to play Paragon. So I love MOBAs as a genre, and I said, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna call myself King of MOBA. I mean, I might not be an actual king, but
Okay.
I mean,
It's
hey,
okay.
it's what you tell yourself in the shower, right? I mean, I feel
Well,
like
okay. Thank you for that insight. I mean, now for the viewers watching, you all now know what it takes to be a King of MOBA. Anyway, moving on. Right, GG to both teams, really well played, and GG to Lanka Lions. They played the game really well, and they played the early game really well, and also GG to the Frozen Matrix for putting up a pretty good fight.
I mean, it's not over, right? So it's a round robin game, and like, they do have chances to come back in the game, and I had a lot of fun, casting alongside you, Eureka, not Steve, and
Thank you.
because and also, like, shout out to, I mean, again, a shout out to the organizers as well, like, for always, like, and I mean, I guess this is like something we've been missing, and like, I mean, something that is not really said as much is that, in terms of the community of League, I mean, the strides that they take in trying to, like, get the cooperation and the whole competitiveness between the subcontinent nations is really admirable, because I mean, especially in South Asia, right? I feel like Dota 2 has always been a more prominent esport, right, in terms of like more people playing it. But at the same time, I mean, you have players from Sri Lanka, like some very high skill tier players who don't really get an opportunity to play against people from India, Pakistan, and so forth. And I mean, tournaments like this keep that competition alive, and I mean, that's really admirable. I just have to mention that. So
Thank you for your input there. And yeah, you're right. Dota 2 has been the more popular game. Anyway, thank you for watching. Tune in next for the next game, Infernal Gaming versus Storm Raiders, and thank you.
yeah, so catch.
We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. We're gonna burn it down. Burn it down. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder.